Limits, episode 138. And in this episode, Bria has left us. This might be the lightest news week I've seen for PlayStation since,
before PlayStation.
That bad, huh? Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor, and I'm joined by my co-host, Sam. Brianna is gone, writing us out of history. And you're listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast, episode 138. Remember, you can find the video version of this podcast over on youtube.com/Save the Game Media every Tuesday. And while you're over there, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you'd rather listen to audio, we're on all your favorite podcast services. We would love it if you could leave us a review. It helps us grow, and we would love any feedback. If you want to support us and get early access to all Save the Game Media content, head over to patreon.com/Save the Game Media and choose the tier that's right for you. Just like our current patrons did, Alpaca Tom, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Nikolai Knight, Brendan Myers, Mark Snail, Lillian, David Harvey, Dave Hart, the Xbox Expansion Pass, Lena Vargas, Locanet, Rick Davis, and Todd Oxtra. Woo! Also, please interact with us in the Discord. Links are all in the show notes. How you doing, Sam?
I'm fine. Fine.
Just fine.
I'm a busy boy, as per usual.
Little pissy boy.
Yeah, busy boy. That's BOI as well.
Pissy. PISSY.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right though. I mean, I woke up today with a bad headache, but popped down some pills and look at me, all good now.
What's your pill of choice to get rid of your headache, Sam? Good old ibuprofen?
No, methamphetamine.
Sam, that's not a downer.
Oh, sorry. I meant crack cocaine.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, just some ibuprofen and paracetamol, and just the standards.
Tylenol. Yep, we call Tylenol over here.
Yeah, that's about it for me. I mean, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, I suppose, because at time of recording tomorrow, I'm going to be attending the PlayStation concert. So.
Oh wow! Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. London, right?
No.
Okay, Birmingham.
Yes, well done.
I just really guessed. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I mean, you got it right.
It's the only good thing about Birmingham.
That is also correct.
Other than that, in Birmingham, what do you have to look at? Old gray stone.
I mean, that doesn't really narrow it down.
And
really,
coal pits. Yeah.
Close, but no cigar.
Is there a Peaky Blinders section of Birmingham that I can go tour? Here's where they filmed this. Or is it not marked off? You just have to figure out where it is, Sam.
Oh, I think that's probably the case, yes.
All right, fine. We'll have
figure it out.
Birmingham. Yeah, have fun over there. Don't fall over.
I won't. I'll just be listening to that Astrobot music blasting, Helldivers theme. Let's go.
Have they given a track list of what's going to be played, or it's?
No, I mean, they've obviously said some of the franchises that are going to be there. They've said Uncharted. They've said God of War, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, Astrobot, Helldivers, Bloodborne, Journey. There's, I think, a couple of others that I'm missing. I would assume there's probably a couple of other things in there, but they might just keep it to those that they've announced. I don't know. I'm going in with an open mind. I'm not expecting to hear Resistance or something, even though it's technically a 30th anniversary celebration thing. I'm not expecting real deep cuts. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love like Shadow of the Colossus or something, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, did I say Last of Us? I mean, obviously Last of Us as well.
I don't. Oh yeah, I would love. It'd be very interesting to see the Last of Us theme in an orchestra. Oh wait, speaking of Last of Us, I still have to watch that god dang show, Sam.
You do.
How was season 2 so far, Sam?
They took some creative liberties, which I find interesting. Yeah, they're in space now. So
What? Sam, you almost had me excited for a second.
Yeah,
Intergalactic.
they're intergalactic real early. Transmedia stuff going on. No. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of what you'd expect, really. They have taken some creative liberties in the same way that the first season did, where they just sort of expand on some things and add scenes in that weren't in the game or were in the game but were very briefly touched on. Yeah, seems very good. Be interested to see. I mean, we've already talked about this. Just be interested to see how the rest of the season pans out, knowing that it's not going to fully encapsulate the second game. Like, where do they stop? How do they mess with the structure of it all, if at all? I don't know.
Right.
But you should watch it.
I will. Sam, I am 2 episodes away from finishing Arrested Development Season 3. Then I will put that show away forever.
Excellent.
Okay, unfortunately, the next show on the list is Invincible. New season of Invincible. So I have to get through the new season of Invincible and the new season of Daredevil, and then I'll watch Last of Us.
Fantastic. Maybe season 3 will be premiering by the time we're
Sam,
watching that.
I watch shows at a more steady rate than I play games. Okay. If I'm when I'm eating a meal, at least dinner every night or almost every night, it's me in front of a show for 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'll get there. I'm more excited for the new season of Invincible than I am to see season of The Last of Us, to be honest. I've played the game, Sam. There's nothing more for me. Invincible needs a game. Does it, though? That's always the thing. The premise of a Superman-type game, how would you balance it to make it where you're not just an invincible, destructive machine?
I mean, like, the only way I can see it working is... Have you heard of a game called Megaton Rainfall?
No. That sounds very mecha, though.
It's not at all. Okay. It's a first-person, essentially, like, superhero game.
It's on Steam. $16.
You can also play it in VR.
An indestructible interdimensional super being. Okay.
Yeah, like you're essentially like first-person Superman. You can fly all the way around the planet. You can leave the planet and go off into the solar systems and explore the galaxy and all of these things. And you can fight at like an alien invasion that invades Earth as part of the main story. And you've got lots of different powers and stuff.
This is cool.
It is. I mean, it's pretty rough looking. Like, it's not a looker, but it's fun. And there's nothing really like it. I think like that's the closest thing. It wouldn't necessarily have to be first person. I think you could make a game like that in third person. But you would have to just have... It would be a power fantasy more than anything. And then you have like... If it's a Superman game, you have something like... Have you played Resident Evil like 2 Remake?
I purchased it.
Excellent. Are you aware of the concept of Mr. X?
Yes.
Okay. Like, I would have like a General Zod or someone as a Mr. X in that game.
Mr. Kryptonite chasing you.
Yeah, where like he is always there. Or like the alien in Alien Isolation, like where it is an AI entity that is always there. Not necessarily always actively chasing you down, but like it is a indestructible, almost like instantly lethal force when you encounter it, and you have to kind of like go around the world and stop crimes and continue the story and unlock abilities or build up your resilience, and then you can go and face the big threat. I think that's the best way that I can envision a game like that. So, but even then, it's like there are so many design hurdles that you have to get over that someone much smarter than me would have to tackle. But I think it's possible. I just think it's difficult.
Yeah. The scale would be amazing if they could do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, Megaton Rainfall does it, but it does it at the expense of visuals. Like when you're down on the ground, it's like Google Maps almost, you know.
Oh,
Which isn't terrible. Like it could be a lot worse. Like there are people walking around, there are cars driving, there are, you know, fully 3D modeled buildings and stuff.
right.
But it is a bit sort of 3D view, Google Maps-esque.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that is. God, now I'm excited for the Superman movie. What?
Get out of here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't like it. For some reason you're not that hot on it.
It just looks the same as everything else, you know?
Man of Steel was peak
I mean, sure. So why are they trying again? You know?
because it's 12 years old, Sam.
Yeah.
And Henry Cavill has dropped the cape. The DCU that movie established is no longer.
Yeah. I just think like DC is kind of just like a cursed brand at this point. You know, like the Warner Brothers games division is crumbling.
Batman is still the
DC
golden goose. What do you
well,
mean?
yes, with the exception of the Matt Reeves stuff.
And Penguin. Well, that's Matt Reeves.
Yeah. And like you could have said Rocksteady, but obviously it's like they're going back to Batman now, but a
10
lot of
years
the
later.
talent has
Yeah.
left the studio. So like they could make a great Batman game again. I hope they do. But
From 2009 to 20, or I'll say that, yeah, from around 2007, let's call it beginning or midway through the dev cycle to Arkham Asylum through 2015, they went through 3 Arkham games.
Yep.
Nothing since. Yeah, I guarantee you they'd be lucky if a few of the people left who worked on Arkham Knight are still there.
well, I mean, most people would have bailed with Suicide Squad, right?
If they stayed for that long, yeah. And if they stayed until
Because they're
then,
like, we want to make cool, like single player, almost immersive simi type superhero games. Oh, you want us to make a live service game? No thanks.
yeah.
And they leave.
Yep. Anyway, doing pretty good, Sam.
Yeah, good.
I will not be here next Sunday. I'll be visiting family.
Disgraceful.
Yep, that's what they call me. Disgraceful.
Yeah.
Let's see what else, Sam. Sam, what have you been playing? Say it.
Still, unfortunately, can't talk about it.
I knew it.
We're getting close, Taylor. Like as the weeks go by, eventually we'll reach a point where I can say what I'm playing. But I can say that I'm still playing Blueprints.
All right, Kevin, cut that. Make that a short.
Still playing Blueprints on and off. I would love to be diving like properly headfirst into it, but I don't have the time right now. And also, at least for the time being, I'm making it a thing that I do with my dad because we are on the sort of puzzle game kick.
Aww.
So that is like further limiting the time that I can invest into it in like, you know, sessions. I can't really do that. I have to break it up into like hour-long chunks. But it's still like we're still making good progress. We're doing a couple of runs each time. Finding more and more stuff. We're learning things every run, which is good. We haven't really hit like a brick wall yet. highly encourage people to play Blueprints. It's truly excellent. I don't think I'm playing anything else. Let's see. Just checking what's recently played on my Steam account. No, nothing on PC. Is there anything on PlayStation
No.
that I've been playing?
Nope.
Oh, I have got a couple of things lined up though.
Not the famous segment where not what am I playing, but what will I soon be planned to be playing that might or might not happen.
Yeah, there's a. I just want to shout it out because thinking of like quirky off the wall things. I just said Megaton Rainfall. I did pick up in the sale a game called Shadows of Doubt, which is a. I don't even know how you would describe it. It's like an immersive sim.
Yes.
Detective game. That is in a procedurally generated city, and you are solving crimes, and you can go into like every room of every building, collect evidence, clues, question people. You can like earn money from solving cases and use that to buy apartments and decorate the apartments. There's been on my radar for a while now. And I'm wanting to dive in, but I can't yet because I'm too busy. But it's sitting there ready for me on the dashboard, ready to go.
Good stuff, Sam.
What about you?
Sam? I've been playing Super Mario 3D World.
Excellent, the classic PlayStation game.
And I purchased Kirby and the Forgotten Land for Switch 1.
Oh, another excellent PlayStation game.
And yeah, a God of War 1, like I said in the pre-show, it's not kept my attention up. I think I'll come back to it, but it's a little painful, Sam. I don't feel like doing this puzzle stuff. I like doing puzzles in Uncharted 3 with the shadow light thing, and I guess not here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can look forward to God of War 2 because, like I keep saying, God of War 2 is a significant step up from God of War
1. Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So yeah, what else? My book about the ancient history of Rome finally came in. $6 from my Goodwill in California. And this thing is a full-on like 800-page hardcover book in pristine condition. It said acceptable on eBay. Maybe that's what Goodwill just does. They mark everything as acceptable because nothing is worse than acceptable.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. What toff? I was reminiscing about Twin Peaks yesterday, listening to Julie Cruz.
Yeah. Classic.
I think about Twin Peaks so often, Sam.
That's how it gets you. Just hooks you and doesn't let go. I know the feeling.
I might need to rewatch it.
No, Taylor. Someday, but not now.
Okay. Top, what do you think? Yep. She concurs. Oh, boy. Oh, funny. Oh, funny. Good. Oh, good. Good. Oh, okay. All right. Well, with that, maybe let's get right into the news. Is Keemstar still around? Keem.
Yeah, he is.
Drama alert. Oh, my God. No, he's not. Only a year ago his last posted. I don't want to know where he is now. Okay.
I mean, he's still active. He's doing stuff with like Boogie 2988 now, you know?
Oh, God. Remember
like
when Boogie used to be perceived as a sane internet personality?
Yeah. The good old
Yeah.
days.
2011 is too old now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the fall of Bookie 2988.
You're getting close to the price of a PS5 with those numbers.
I know. Speaking of the price of a 8888 of oh god, Sam, I'm short circuiting. The PS5 is going up in price again. Not in the US. Haha. Not in the US, Sam, but in many other places. Sony cites a challenging economic environment, including high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates. And, Sam, the funny thing about this is I feel like, of course, in part, this is due to tariffs, but I think maybe we're just going to do this anyway as well. Part of me just thinks they were going to do this. What does the exchange rate between two other currencies have to do with the U.S. tariffs? Am I right, Sam? I'm just kidding. It has to do with all global tariffs because China is doing reciprocal tariffs and other countries are doing reciprocal tariffs, and it's totally creating turmoil in the financial landscape of the world. So,
yeah,
case in point, Europe is getting the PS5 digital edition price raised to €499. The UK is getting their PS5 digital edition price raised to £430. Australia is getting their standard PS5 with Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive edition to 830 Australian dollars. The PS5 digital edition is going up to 750 Australian dollars. The standard PS5 with the disc drive in New Zealand is going up to $950, and the PS5 digital edition is going up to $860. I think in between all currencies, this is all more than at least $100 in its respective currency, more than the PS5 digital edition was at launch.
I believe so.
Let me see. PS5 digital edition price UK.
Yeah, because I think
yeah,
the
so
digital edition
$340. Sorry, Great British pounds.
Yeah, I think the digital edition now costs what the standard edition cost at launch.
Yeah, we're just looking across the board. Some small reprieve is that the disk drive attachment will be getting a retail price decrease in Europe to €80, 70 British pounds, 125 Australian dollars, and 140 New Zealand dollars.
Yep.
And Sam, if I told you 10 years ago the best time to buy the console would be at launch financially, you would call me stupid.
You
would say,
maybe.
Taylor, the price of the console will be demonstrably lower midway through the end of the generation.
Yeah. I mean, that's subjective because, I mean, if you're asking me specifically, I would be like, well, you're going to be, quote unquote, missing out on the zeitgeist and all the new games for multiple years if you wait for the price drop, which I would not be willing to do. But obviously, plenty of people either have to because of financial situations or are fine waiting and playing the games that are still releasing on last gen for some reason. But yeah, typically console prices do go down. You are correct.
Not anymore, Sam.
No. It'll be interesting to see because I don't think, again, not that this is like a combative thing. I don't think Xbox have done anything with their console prices yet. It will be interesting to see if they do, because I mean that they're going to be affected by the tariffs as much as anybody else. I don't know whether they are whether they are going to be willing to take the hit potentially in lieu of maybe gaining new people into the ecosystem. I don't know, because if they don't put the prices up, and Sony has, there may be some prospective customers who are like on the cusp of GTA 6's release going to be looking to upgrade to a next gen console that are still on previous gen. And then Xbox might become a more enticing thing that way. Not that it matters, because console share isn't going to shift in such
Maybe.
a sizable way, but
Yeah.
that would be a big hit on hardware that Microsoft would be tanking if they don't do anything with their prices, though. So
I can tell you this Thursday, Sam, I will be on a hawk for Switch 2 pre-orders.
Yeah.
Astrobot's still a little too expensive, though.
Yeah, you're right. But 500, easy peasy.
500 for what?
For the Switch.
It's 450, Sam.
Oh, you're not getting it with Mario Kart?
I'm getting it with Mario Kart.
So it's 500.
Yes.
Glad we cleared that up.
Sam, you're going to get Mario Kart, right?
No.
Oh, I hate you.
Most people do. Yeah, I mean, I've said in the Discord, like, if the Switch event and all the stuff around it was far more bombastic and didn't have dumb decisions and nickel and diming, I might have been more interested. But I feel like my interest has actually gone down since the reveal.
Sam, why? Wait, to Mario Kart specifically? Sorry, or just to Switch 2 in general?
No, the Switch 2 in general.
Why?
Like, because they haven't really shown any super compelling first-party software.
Donkey Kong and Metroid. What is the issue?
I mean, Metroid can be played on the original Switch.
Oh my God. You don't have an original Switch, Sam.
No, but I'm just saying that you don't need a Switch 2 to play that game.
Okay,
and
Sam.
also
All
Donkey
right.
Kong. Donkey Kong looks cool,
Yes.
but it's not, at least on the surface level, not some must-play game.
This is the Hulk game you were waiting for.
No, it isn't, Taylor.
I could kill for a really good narrative-driven Hulk game where it's a lot of good, really emotional Bruce scenes that have been seen in cutscene transformations.
You know what narrative-driven game we need, Taylor? We need a Daredevil game.
Count me in.
Let's be honest.
Count me in.
There's like echolocation mechanics.
But you wouldn't be able to navigate by looking at your TV screen.
I think that would be probably a step too far, to be honest. But
so you don't think blind people should play games, Sam?
Well, I mean, yes, but
I know. I'm just joshing.
I know you're joshing.
It is easy. The game shows that we can see the things around us see by Daredevil's echolocation.
It's almost like Batman Detective Vision, right?
Yeah.
Echolocation for Daredevil.
I think it could be a little
more
Detective Vision is a bit tacky.
Yeah. And also it's just far too overpowered.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I'm interested in the Switch, and I probably will pick up a Switch 2. But it's not going to be for a while.
Yeah, when Astral Chain 2 comes out. Yep.
Of course. Because I don't care about the Dust Bloods either.
Okay.
So until they show like a new Mario, I don't know. I don't even know, but like once I see it, I'll know.
I think you might like Fire Emblem, Sam.
But I don't think so.
Xenoblade?
Nope.
Pikmin. I might like Pikmin.
Maybe.
I still need to play Pikmin.
Maybe.
Good stuff, Sam.
Yeah.
Anyway, short news week. On to the next.
I will say, though, just in terms of the PS5 specifically, yes, this is almost primarily because of tariffs. But you made the joke of like they were going to do this anyway. If that, we have no way of knowing, obviously, but like getting this out of the way now does mean that they are set to potentially maximize profits when GTA 6 does come out. Right? Like if there is a time to raise the price of a console, in spite of all the tariffs and all the global economics going on, which might, in air quotes, justify the price increase. What other game would you conceptually raise the price of a console for? you do it for GTA 6 because people will buy consoles for that game.
GTA 6 will be $120.
Hey, Nintendo's given them the green light.
And I'm gonna pay it. Oh God, I'm the Joker. Sam, I need it.
I don't even think I'm going to play it.
Ew.
You know, like I just don't care about GTA.
Am I the only one Save the Game who's gonna play GTA 6 of the hosts?
Probably, yeah.
No, Stan Pack Sam. He's got my back.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
But yeah, I think you two are going to be alone on an island there. Everybody else would be perfectly happy not doing that. Yeah, because like you would assume that PlayStation is going to have the marketing connection, not necessarily exclusively, but it's going to probably predominantly be marketed by Sony and have the PS5 marketing attached to it.
Yeah.
So like that coupled with them raising prices, obviously not great for the consumer, but it is good for Sony in terms of maximizing what returns they're going to see with the inevitable console sale boom when GTA 6 does release. So logical for them, unfortunate for us. I mean, not for us because we already own PS5s, but also worth noting, I don't think it's meant you mentioned it. The Pro isn't getting any price changes. It's not the Pro isn't going up. So
the Pro is a better value. The Pro has become maybe a slightly more attractive value proposition.
Yep.
If you don't care about discs. Well, if you do care about discs, it has a disc drive. So yeah.
Yeah. Which further maximizes their profits. So spending more. Does the what, Taylor? I'm sorry I cut you off.
No.
Okay. Well, I guess we're done then. I guess we're done with that. On I move to the next story. This is like, I mean, you know, Indiana Jones has come out, cool. People are still talking about Marathon. I guess one thing that we didn't write down here in the notes is that Marathon and Bungie have changed how they're approaching the closed alpha.
Oh, I didn't know that. Preach.
Yeah, not really much information, but they've removed the NDA around the closed alpha, so anybody playing the closed alpha can share their impressions. Scuttlebutt online is that the leadership at Bungie, or some of the leadership at Bungie, are feeling a little bit nervous after like the reactions and impressions off of the gameplay reveal. So they kind of want to just be as open and transparent as possible, and they're framing it as like, we want to build the game with you and have like a real meaningful community around the game, which is good in essence. But I think that they're just feeling a bit wary, and I don't know whether lifting the NDA on the alpha suggests that they are confident in it and they want people to speak positively about it to change the narrative, or whether it's positive or negative, they want the NDA lifted so that at least people are talking about it, and that if it is negative, they have a wider collection of general sentiment online to fine-tune and correct things in the game. I don't know which one it is, but that's interesting. At least closed alpha, I think, beginning later this month, if you get into the game. So we will be hearing about it in the coming weeks. And a game that we'll be hearing about in the coming week, so it seems, is the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remastered. Taylor is feverishly masturbating there for the audio listeners.
I was clapping, Sam.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Oh my God.
So yeah, this has been a thing for the past couple of weeks. Screenshots of leaked from Virtuous's website. some elements have been found on Bethesda's site as well. So it's essentially all but confirmed, not outright announced, but it's seemingly shadow dropping at some point this week. Some people have said it could be the 21st, which is tomorrow at time of recording, but it's within the week of the 21st, according to Jeff Grubb. And then additionally, if you didn't know all of that, because you probably do unless you were living under a rock in gaming news over the past couple of weeks, Lord Cognito of the Iron Lords podcast and, of course, Defining Duke over at Last Stand Media was talking on Defining Duke with Mr. Matty Plays and said that he had it on good authority that Bethesda and Xbox are going to include all of Oblivion's DLC content in this upcoming release, as opposed to excluding it entirely or selling it separately, either at launch or later down the line. So for context, in addition to some smaller content releases, including the horse armor, of course, as we all know, infamously, Oblivion received 2 sizable expansions, those being Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine. The former was released second in 2007. The latter released in the same year as the base game. And that Shivering Isles, I'm contextualizing these notes out of context. Shivering Isles is widely considered as one of the great video game expansions. I would agree. And some of the best content that the Elder Scrolls series has ever offered. So for it to be included is a big deal. Shivering Isles adds around 10 to 20 hours of content, and Knights of the Nine adds about 5 to 10 hours. Of course, if you're going for a completionist run on either of those expansions, you'll get a bit more time out of it. Worth noting that those leaked images did seem to show a deluxe edition of this remaster, which showed what looked like horse armor, and like some weapon skins maybe, or some unique weapons and armor sets. I'm not sure. I would hope that the DLC isn't specific to the deluxe edition of this remaster, but that could be the case. So brace yourself. Just, I don't know, but those leaked screenshots did show that it was coming to PC, Xbox, of course, Game Pass Day 1, and PS5. So everybody can play, unless you're a Nintendo player. Screw you, Nintendo players. Although I would have thought that it will come to Switch 2 at some point.
Also, shout out, the Sky Oblivion fan project is still happening.
Yeah, I mean, they came out in support of this. They're like, the two things can exist at the same time. Here's an interesting dilemma, though, Tyler, that Bethesda finds themselves in, and I guess Xbox by proxy, is that, and I guess it's for parity, so that I'm not seen as some fanboy.
You're seen as some fanboy.
It's the same as like the like Bloodborne patches, right? It's the same problem where what if, I'm not saying this is like necessarily guaranteed to happen, but what if Sky Oblivion was a better experience than the Oblivion remaster?
And it is.
But like a free mod makes a better version of the game than an actual game of Oblivion.
Well, it's a free mod, but you still have to own copies of Oblivion and Skyrim.
I don't think you have to own Oblivion.
I think you really?
Yeah, because it's just Oblivion remade in Skyrim.
I thought it was kind of like a Tale of Two Wastelands, a somewhat similar to the Tales of Two Wastelands approach with Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas on PC, where you need to own one to have it in the other.
I haven't seen that. That could be true.
I'm just Googling it. Sky Oblivion will be free. You have to own Skyrim Special Edition, Oblivion, and all of Oblivion's DLC for the installer to work.
Interesting. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
But like, At the same time, if you're interested in this, who at this point doesn't own Oblivion, and especially a version of Skyrim?
I think my retort is there's a hardcore PC gaming crowd who would definitely just maybe just go with the Sky Oblivion route if it ends up being the better experience. But people who don't do mods, don't care to tinker with their PC, and console players will never know about or care for Sky Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
For the most of the consumer base, that is too many steps to go to play a game.
Sure.
PS5 players will never see Sky Oblivion. You know.
Here's another issue though. That is, if that issue I just raised isn't an issue,
okay,
there is a compounding issue on top of that.
Another
where
issue.
Right. So this Oblivion remastered, the official one, not Sky Oblivion, the official remaster, being made in Unreal Engine 5. Right. Bethesda Game Studios use Creation Engine. Always have for a long time. For better or for worse. So logically, you would then assume that an iterated version of Creation Engine, no doubt, but Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be made in Creation Engine.
I really hope not.
So what happens if an Unreal version of an Elder Scrolls game, a 20-year-old Elder Scrolls game, no less, ends up looking, running, being better than the next actual mainline Elder Scrolls game?
Like,
because I'd love it to happen, but I guarantee you that Bethesda Game Studios isn't using Unreal Engine 5 to make Elder Scrolls 6. So, and just by definition, Unreal Engine 5 is a better engine than Creation Engine. Let's be honest, most engines nowadays are demonstrably better than Creation Engine. So, is there any world where maybe like this comes out, if it's good, it's received really well? Is there a world where BGS abandon Creation Engine? I don't think so, because it's too important to the modding community, and the modding community is too important to BGS.
Is it though?
Yeah. Because they have Creation Club and everything.
Well,
the whole ethos of their games is that they live on through their modding community.
You say that, Sam, but if Microsoft thinks they'll be demonstrably lower sales if they don't fix their engine, they'll just do it. Because they're the boss, and they need this, and they want the money.
I mean, maybe, but then that depends on how ruthless we think Microsoft will be.
I think we should hold our chickens here until we see an engine gameplay of the Elder Scrolls 6.
Look forward to that in 2040.
You know, it is a good question. You think it could be at Summer Games Fest? I guess anything could happen. But do you think it's likely that Elder Scrolls 6 gameplay will be showed at Summer Games Fest?
No.
Okay.
No.
Has Todd
if it's, I mean, I'm being pedantic. If it's going to be anywhere, it'll be at the Xbox showcase.
Has Todd Howard given any indication that as to what percentage of Bethesda's resources are dedicated to Elder Scrolls 6 right now?
No, but you would imagine
it's a lot.
The overwhelming majority. I mean, Starfield hasn't received an update since I think September of last year. There's supposed to be another DLC coming this year, which we've heard and seen nothing of. I mean, I'm on record saying that I don't really like Starfield at all. So I would be fine if they abandoned it, but it would be very out of character for Bethesda to abandon the game. You know, abandon in quotes. Still life support and software updates and stuff, but like there's a meaningful, sizable DLC content. We got Shattered Space, and that shat the bed. So like, do they get scared of that? And like, let's just shift onto something and try to make it a surefire bet, which would be Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know. Is there a chance we see Elder Scrolls 6 this year at like the Xbox showcase, which is where it would be? Possibly. like a re-reveal maybe of something actually in engine, not anything meaningful, but be like, hey, remember when we revealed this game 8 years ago? We're revealing it again.
Was it really 8
But
years ago?
I think so. Something like that. It's close to 8 years.
God.
Like, but at the same time, the issue that they have is that Todd Howard says he regrets showing it too early. And based on what they did with Fallout 4, you would think that when they want to show it again, it would be close to coming out. And there is no chance that Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out this year. And I would even say no chance it's coming out next year either. So why would you show it again if it's at least a year and a half away from coming out? I don't think they do that. So I think they maybe show it next year's Xbox showcase and be like early 2027. I could see that happening. But then they might, that could be something that they hand over to the Game Awards end of next year, you know, as like a big one last, not necessarily one last thing, but one of the big reveals of the night. I don't know.
Sam, now I'm thinking about is going back and playing some modded Skyrim. But I won't.
Okay.
In terms of Bethesda, playing Fallout 3 in New Vegas for the first time is more important for me.
Well, supposedly Fallout 3 Remastered is coming as well.
So right.
Maybe you just wait for that. Because you haven't played Oblivion either.
Nope. Well, I'll play Oblivion for sure. Remake.
Oblivion is excellent. You bet your ass that in the coming weeks, assuming I don't get swamped with work, which spoilers I'm going to be beyond what I'm doing now.
Rip.
I'm going to be in the Imperial City, and I'm going down to that arena, and I'm going to become Grand Champion.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is that like their version of the Coliseum where you just fight to the death?
Yeah. And you rise up the ranks, and you become Grand Champion.
Also, I remember from playing Skyrim, I was a bit into the lore of, I love Conjuration, and you kept hearing about your summons come from the plains of Oblivion.
Yeah.
And lore-wise, I just got very interested in what really is Oblivion.
Oblivion is scattered across the landscape. You've got the Oblivion gates. Go inside. What's on the other side? Who knows? I do.
Maybe I'll play some Morrowind, Sam.
You want a little bit of voice acting from Sean Bean? You want a little bit of voice acting from Patrick Stewart?
Wait, you said Sean Bean. Okay. Thought he was about to say Mr. Bean. Patrick Stewart is in Oblivion?
Yeah.
Dude, what about Morrowind, huh?
Nah.
Wow.
I mean, Morrowind is good, but it's like you really have to be an Elder Scrolls diehard, I think, to go back to that game at this point.
Do I even have Skyrim in my Steam library?
I think Oblivion scrapes past, like standard Oblivion scrapes past still today. Skyrim is obviously great, but I am going to be all over this remaster for sure. Shivering Isles is excellent, like one of the best DLCs I've played ever, I think.
It's awesome. In Oblivion, is being a mage in Oblivion as or more viable than it is in Skyrim?
I mean, it's viable. It's different because you can't like dual wield spells and stuff. So it's more rudimentary, but like the amount of spells you have at your disposal, I think, are more interesting than Skyrim's. Cool. You can do really interesting things, just generally, not even just spells, just generally in Oblivion. But don't forget, Taylor, if you have to remember one thing, you have to meditate to level up. You can go through dozens of hours in Oblivion and not think of meditating, and you'll be like, why am I not leveling up? Why am I not being able to put points into different stats and attributes and stuff?
So it's meditate. A little less, it's less obvious than resting at your bonfire in Dark Souls?
Yes. and it's not the same as Skyrim where it's just you get the
Yeah, that is what it sounds like.
that is
All
what
right.
it's like.
Thanks for the tip. Maybe in
Yeah.
the remake they'll do a better job of telling you how to do that.
I
Telling
hope
you
so.
that you need to meditate to level up.
I'm expecting it to mainly just be like a visual thing more so than anything else. I don't know how much they're going to change the gameplay. But I'd love for some of the gameplay systems to be tweaked a little bit, update the UI, stuff like that. But I'm keeping expectations low, and I think I'll be fine, even if it is just a visual upgrade, because the visual upgrade looks good. It looks good.
Yes. Well, good stuff, Sam.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, thank y'all so much for listening. Remember, you can find us on YouTube at Save the Game Media, Discord. Links are all in the show notes. Where can people find you, Sam?
Anywhere and everywhere at Sam Heaney, Heaney.
All right. You can find me at Discord as Taylor TPR on Xbox TPR #6868. PSN Mr. Carter 9 MRCARTERNINE. Steam at TPR. You can find me on MySpace. No, you can't. Okay. Well, until next time, thank you all so much for listening. Bye-bye.